These standard setters of German women's football. Georgia Stanway in holding midfield, shifting Momoko Tanikawa further up the pitch. The final act of 2025 in the Google Pixel Frauen Bundesliga. League leaders Bayern München, opening weekend meeting, played in front of 57,762. Joining Zara Zadrazil and Lena Oberdorf on the sidelines. Caroline Simon, not quick to cover the space, and what a trap for Cornelia Kramer. Top, but Bender did really well to pick her out here. That's a golden opportunity, and you have to say, but here's Franziska Kett taking on Vidal out wide. Couldn't quite squeeze the cross. Tanikawa, also a young prospect who has committed her long-term future to the club. So, that was a difficult pass for Bender to control, but didn't she do marvellously well? And then the fleet footwork draws the foul from Georgia Stanway. Prospect. Loreen Bender. Another loose pass, this time from Franziska Kett. Bender onto it in a flash, and Loreen Bender. 10 minutes played. Leverkusen with a very to have a shot on goal. Meanwhile, this is the third effort the hosts have produced. Bender. From the back, she scored a quite eye-catching goal against her former club last Wednesday. Fine, we're already 2-0 up by that. Their hosts half as Linda Dahlmann now tries to weave away from the pressure. Stanway goes for goal, and the dip needed. Last season, they only scored 56 times. They are 5 goals short of Zali, Karzai Siena, the side bottom of the league, are the only side that have kept them goalless this season. That 0-0 draw, domestic defeat. Harder, picks out Damjanovic, plucks the ball out of the air, and tees up Kett! From one of the breakout stars of 2025. Bayern have taken their time to warm up. But Franziska Kett puts her late ball and gives Bayern the lead. German football champions, the chant from the Bayern fans now after that opening goal. Personal opinion, she was the best player on the pitch for Germany in both games. Former head coach guided them to glory in the Frauen Bundesliga in 3 straight seasons, guided them to the club's first ever league goal, and here she is trying to pounce on a loose ball. Lovely touch from Franziska Kett, looking for the pass to Harder. Oh, Taranyi, that was clumsy. Lila Taranyi panicked under the pressure from Pernilla Harder. A double whammy of a yellow card to just got herself in an absolute muddle here. Credit to Kett, that first touch is absolutely delightful, but her first touch let her down Taranyi, and then in ball, she actually missed the ball and completely takes out Harder. Woman in a rich vein of goal-scoring form to make it 2-0 to Bayern. It's Harder against Raypole. Oh, Raypole with the save. Wasn't the best penalty, was it? Raypole did well just to react and get a knee down. Would have expected better. Stood over the ball. Joanna Damjanovic making sure that the ball doesn't go under the wall. It is Kurgel, it's over the wall, but Mahmutovic saw it the whole way. Lacked the pace to... Had the act. Long raking pass, Tanikawa. Oof, making a nuisance of herself, so too is Harder again. The Bayern players just... And Bull was arguably the difference maker. It was her corner that was headed home by Vanessa Gilles for the first Bayern goal of the season. United up front, they were the first choice pairing for Leverkusen last season as well. Bender, how many times are they going to foul her tonight? Goodness me. To the matchday squad after a lengthy spell on the treatment table. Caroline Kehrer and Cornelia Kram. A lovely pass, lovely combination play from Bayern, and Harder's final pass doesn't quite find the mark, intercepted and put behind for a corner. Control of this game as Caruso. Change of angle. Is going to get it back, Caruso, and Stebel prevents the first-time effort. Simon whips it in. Franziska Kett's first goal in over 3 years, separating the sides of the Ulrich Haber. Clash between the league leaders Bayern München and top 3 hopefuls Bayer Leverkusen. Franziska Kett, the Bayern right back. It is Leverkusen who get us back underway. 45 minutes of Frauen-Bundesliga action remaining in 2020. Here she is, Franziska Kett, first goal in over 3 years. Rapol got a good hand to it, will maybe have felt that she could have saved it, but she didn't. Simon now with a cross. Caruso picks up the loose ball. Caruso can't find the target. Caruso, the type of player who wouldn't have expected to have got as many minutes as she has this season. Very competitive midfield form, likely beyond Leverkusen's reach. Not because Leverkusen aren't good enough to score 2 goals against Bayern, but because Bayern are simply just that good this season domestic. Couple of ambitious passes at either end, but this one works out for Bender. Goes low with the delivery. Too close. Kramer made the right run. Bender had the right idea, but exposed at the back. Damjanovic. Damjanovic stands it up at the back post. Marina Gonzalez, piercing pass. Kramer gets onto the touch from Kehrer, looks for the tee up on the edge of the area. Pilic, Kurgel with the chance now. Just rushed it, Kristin Kurgel. Just needed to settle herself. She was anticipating someone snapping in with a challenge, which is not unrealistic. Down. Harder. In behind Marina Gonzalez, skips past Tarani, but the touch always favoured Rapol as she went. Ball back right now because the bravery being shown is paying dividends as Kurgel on the turn. Kristin Kurgel. Neither. Leverkusen are willing to risk it here for an equaliser, as they have to do. The promise is there, but there's no end product. Vidal, that's a lovely cross, and Kurgel was ready to pounce if Balisaya hadn't got there. Lovely shape on this cross from Vidal, one of the best we've seen in terms of quality so far from the Leverkusen. For Lila Tarani, who is on a yellow card after that penalty conceded in the first half, to Pernilla Harder, who is looking for the cross, and lovely play again by Dahlmann, right off the knee of... And now Caroline Simon to swing in this corner. Balizaya underneath it. It's going to come to Caruso, and there she never really looked back. In the end, across two legs. Big missed chances in both games for Germany that they lived to regret, and that's arguably the Bayern aren't fashioning much either. Wamser's cross is delightful, and Kramer was seemingly poised to pounce. Wamser looked to have put it on a plate. With Barbara Dunstan, the fresh legs off the bench. She's got Harder and Damjanovic up. Naschenweng too. It's to Damjanovic. Looking for Harder. Oh dear. Well, Damjanovic so unselfish and trying to pick self there, the Serbian. Dunst's pass did force her a touch wide, but it looked like the shot was on. She just didn't fancy the... While they've been bright and more promising. 20 minutes played now, and they again still have very little to show for their efforts. Maybe now Wamser to Kramer, leaning backwards. And that results in only one thing. That's a shot that goes... I genuinely have lost count of the amount of towering headers. Truly exemplary performance from the Swede at the back for Bayern. She has been flawless. Damjanovic out to Naschenweng. Ostermeier with a no-nonsense clearance. Support systems. Oh, this is lovely from Bayern. Damjanovic to finish it. Corner, as there was a passing move from Bayern. Zippy. First time, intricate. Around Balisaya there. Dangerous delivery. Tanikawa able to bring it down in the box. Dunst recycles to Naschenweng. Naschenweng. Teasing free kick. Balisaya looking for a second chance opportunity. Oh! Harder and Damjanovic. Be the question. Yeah, I think Damjanovic would have been offside. Not that the flag went up, and again, of course, no video assistant ref at play in the Frauen Bundesliga. She's an incredible striker. Harder. Naschenweng. Trying to get it back to Harder. In the end, it just... Bayern have not killed off this game. Tarani. No, is that another penalty? Has she been penalised for that as a penalty? I think she has. Let's take a close look at this. It's definitely... Oh, it's outside the area. Wow. It's outside the area. Secondly, I think she wins the ball. That is an atrocious... Convert. Momoko Tanikawa holds her with a sensational penalty. And Bayern now have the 2-goal lead befitting of their dominance this evening. Quarter of an hour left to play, but this for me should never have been a penalty. Never, ever in a million years. I'm not even sure it's a foul, and it's definitely outside the area if it was. Credit to Tanikawa. She does what Stanway couldn't on Wednesday. She did what Harder couldn't tonight. A very, very tidy... She moves on to 6 goals for the season. But now the chance for Leverkusen that wouldn't have counted anyway because the offside flag. Really fight back now, but so difficult when... Oh, Keck, how did she produce that pass to Dunst? Dunst now going for goal, and Rapol with the... Now she's had to be very patient in waiting to make her mark. That was a loose touch, and Wamser sensed the opportunity, stole a march, looked for Mädel, but Mädel was preoccupied with where she was making the bit of the nice and the naughty from Julia Mickenhagen. But her sending off ultimately proved costly. For Bayern, 2026 kicks off with a home game against Leipzig. Vidal right now trying to tease in a lovely spreading of the play to Naschenweng, who's got so much freedom out wide on that left wing. Dunst, harder, providing the runs and stuff. Dalman can't pick out a teammate, but does earn her side another corner. Gilles got there. Teed up now for Balizaya. No shot on. Goes back out to Dalman. Oh, a hint of a handball. No, you've got to be kidding me. A third. You got to just open the door and penalty. Nah, you know what? It hits that trailing hand and that and Stanway converts to seal the deal for Bayern. A subplot of spot kicks as we see against the league leaders, and when you do things like that, you rarely go unpunished. Stanway putting her penalty pretty much where she ends 2025 with 7 goals in 7 all competitions, and now there's real cause for concern here for Katharina Naschenweng. There's a nasty injury here to Katharina Naschenweng. Oh, yikes. Oh, Werder Bremen in that battle for 3rd place. Larissa Mühlhaus scoring from the spot on that occasion, and penalties again have played a significant part. And not converted. The second was, for me, one of the biggest refereeing errors we've seen this season in the Frauen Bundesliga. In my opinion, a nice bit of front foot defending. Penalised for her aggression. And I don't think Schwärmer will think, but I always preface this with, being a referee is a thankless job. If you have a flawless performance, it rarely ever gets mentioned, but on a night like tonight where you've had back from Vanessa Gilles, helped out by teammates, and now she can complete the clearance more convincingly. Mickenhagen can't pick out a teammate. The last chance might go Bayern's way. Tanikawa wants to go through the gears. The final act of 2025 in the Frauen Bundesliga.